right, it looks like everybody's had a chance to join that is planning on joining today. So welcome. I appreciate you taking the opportunity to spend some time with me today. We'll be talking today about mindfulness for anxiety and stress. My name is Ester Odermatt, and I am a mental health clinician, a social worker at the Northumberland Family Health Team. So the agenda, just a quick agenda. We'll go through a couple of housekeeping things. I'll do a tiny little bit of education on stress and anxiety and mindfulness. Then we'll move into a couple of mindfulness practices and leave time at the end for any questions that you might have. So just a bit of housekeeping. We'll be spending about 45 minutes together, roughly around that time. If you do have to pop off for any reason, feel free to do so. If you have any questions during the presentation, feel free to use the chat question box at the bottom of your screen or the question and answer chat box. Just to ensure your privacy, I will be monitoring those questions, but I won't be sharing any of your information with the group, such as who you are or who the question came from. So do be advised the presentation is being recorded, so your questions will be shared, but again, not with your information. And again, just we will be spending some time practicing mindfulness. This can feel sometimes a little bit difficult or different if we haven't done it before. So just be gentle with yourself as we go through that process. So just to do a quick short mindfulness practice, a breathing practice, I always like to start off my time in a presentation doing one of these, just in order to give you time to transition from what you were doing prior to sitting down and joining the presentation today to joining the presentation, as I know often we're rushing around doing many things. So just to start off, it's going to be about 2 minutes. I just invite you to close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. If not, feel free to leave them open and just find a spot to rest your gaze that isn't distracting or overwhelming. And just start off by taking a couple of nice, big, deep breaths, just in and out. Noticing if you're feeling a little rushed or antsy, or how you're arriving today without judgment, without feeling that there's something that you've done wrong. Just arriving to the practice and this time that we have dedicated to spend together with a sense of openness and ease, just breathing, taking another few breaths just at your normal rhythm and pace without trying to shift or move or change anything. Just noticing the pace of your breath. Perhaps noting if you can sense warm air coming out of your nostrils as you breathe out, and cool air going into your nostrils as you breathe in. Noticing the rise and fall of your chest and stomach. And to end this practice of settling in with this moment, just focusing on 3 final breaths. All right, great. Thank you for doing that with me and just settling into the next few minutes that we'll be spending together. So, mindfulness and self compassion are two of the known ways to manage anxiety and stress. We're often quite judgmental about what we're experiencing, and we don't leave a lot of time for just being in the moment, which is what mindfulness is. So, mindfulness is the intentional, non judgmental, moment to moment awareness of our experience as it unfolds. That's John Kabat-Zinn, who is the founder of mindfulness. So essentially, it's just being in the moment. And instead of feeling like we have to judge it or change it, it's just sitting in that moment without resistance. We're trying to avoid what we're feeling. Sometimes we also try to push away the stress or anxiety. We try to just not acknowledge that it exists, which can be actually quite hard and harmful for us because it's not honoring what we're experiencing. And self-compassion is the practice in which we learn to be a good friend to ourselves when we need it most. To be an ally to ourselves rather than be an enemy. And that's by Kristen Neff, who is the guru of self-compassion. So she says, mindfulness is an essential component of self-compassion because we need to be able to turn toward and acknowledge when we are suffering, to be with our pain long enough to respond with care and kindness. So the question is, why is it important to turn to our pain and acknowledge it and to be with it and to respond to it with care and compassion and kindness rather than judgment? Well, when we acknowledge that we have suffering and we acknowledge that we are suffering with a spirit of compassion instead of with self-criticism or judgment, we actually leave room to feel what we're feeling without getting absorbed by it. Because when we get absorbed by the anxiety or the stress, it actually creates more suffering. And it's a vicious circle and cycle that we can get into. So when we can just be kind and say, yeah, I'm hurting. Yeah, that's hard. It's understandable. Other people going through things in life also struggle with difficult emotions, with anxiety, with stress. That takes the weight away. And it allows us to experience less emotional suffering associated with the difficult thing that we're experiencing. So, in order to kind of practice that idea of sitting with the difficult thing, I'm now going to lead you in a mindfulness practice that's called Soften, Soothe, and Allow. And it was created by the Center for Mindfulness Studies. So I'm giving them credit for the script and for the practice that we're now going to engage in. Okay. So I invite you now to find a comfortable position. And if it's comfortable for you, do close your eyes. If it's not comfortable for you, that's okay. You can leave your eyes open and again, just rest that gaze just gently, maybe on the wall or on the table in front of you or your lap in front of you. And start by taking 3 breaths, whatever those breaths mean for you. Just noticing those 3 breaths. And now I invite you to gently place a hand over your heart for a few moments. Just gently placing the hand over the heart to remind yourself that you're in this room and to bring kindness to yourself. Noticing the hand over heart. Now I invite you to allow yourself to recall a difficult situation that you may be experiencing. Perhaps it's a health problem, stress, something you're anxious about, pain. Please don't choose a very difficult problem that you're facing, but choose a problem that can generate just a little bit of discomfort when you think about it. Through this process, as I lead you to sitting with that difficult situation, if you start to feel overwhelmed, feel free to get up, move around, stop doing the practice, do some deep breathing, or really focus all of your attention on your feet on the floor. Okay. But I invite you again to think about this difficult situation that has mild to moderate difficulty. Clearly visualize this situation. Who's there? What was said? What happened? Now see if you can name the strongest emotion associated with that situation. Perhaps anger, sadness, grief, confusion, fear. I invite you to repeat the name of that emotion to yourself in a very gentle, understanding voice, as if you were validating for a friend what they are feeling, such as, yeah, that's grief. Yeah, I'm feeling angry. Yeah, I'm feeling sad. That's grief. That's fear. Now expand your awareness to your whole body and scan your body for where you're feeling the emotion the most. Sweeping your body from head to toe, stopping where you can sense a little tension or discomfort. Now choose a single location, the one that's maybe pulling you the most as you remember this difficult situation. Perhaps it's a point where there's muscle tension, such as the shoulders or belly or back, or an achy feeling, perhaps like a heartache. I invite you to soften into that location in your body. Let the muscles be soft without a requirement that they become soft. Perhaps envisioning it just being simply like applying heat to a sore muscle. If needed, you can say soft, soft, soft to that part of your body. Remember, you're not trying to make the sensation go away. You're just being with that sensation with care and compassion. Soft, soft, soft. Soft, soft, soft. If needed, just soften around the edges. No need to try to soften it all if you can't. Soft, soft, soft. Soothe yourself for struggling in the way that you are. Put a hand over your heart and feel your body breathe. Perhaps expressing kind words to yourself, such as, "Oh my, this is such a painful experience. May I grow in ease and well-being." Perhaps thinking of your body as if it were the body of a beloved person. Gently placing a hand on the body part that's aching. Soothe, soothe, soothe. Soft, soft, soft. Soothe, soothe, soothe. Allow the discomfort to be there. It doesn't have to disappear. Let the discomfort come and go as it pleases, just like a gust of wind. Allow, allow, allow. Soft, soft, soft. Soothe, soothe, soothe. Allow, allow, allow. And as we end this practice, I invite you to just turn your awareness back to your whole body. Just noticing whatever it is that's presenting itself. Turning your attention back to the breath as it naturally flows in and out. And when you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Perhaps take a bit of a stretch. Give yourself the opportunity to know that you just spent time giving yourself care and compassion during a difficult situation. All right. So that is a practice that you can try to soften, soothe, and allow when you're struggling with something difficult, such as anxiety or stress. Self-compassion is a way of emotionally recharging our batteries. Rather than becoming drained by helping others, self-compassion allows us to fill up our internal reserves so that we have more to give to those who need us. All right. And we're going to practice again. I know I'm moving you right into another practice, but we're going to take time to practice another way of engagement in mindfulness. So I once again just invite you to settle into this process and just know that whatever you do today is the right thing. There is no judgment, no need to judge what you are or are not able to do today. All right. So this practice can be done with your eyes open or closed. And it's called a soothing touch. One easy way to soothe and comfort yourself when you're feeling badly is to give yourself a gentle hug or caress. Or simply put your hand on your heart and feel the warmth of your hand. It might feel awkward or embarrassing at first, but your body doesn't know that. It just responds to the physical gesture of warmth and care, just as a baby responds to being cuddled. Our skin is an incredibly sensitive organ. Research indicates that physical touch releases oxytocin and provides a sense of security, soothes distressing emotions, and calms cardiovascular stress. So I invite you now to take 2 or 3 breaths. And I invite you to gently place your hand over your heart, feeling the gentle pressure and warmth of your hand. If you wish, you can also place both hands on your chest, noticing the difference between one hand and 2 hands. Feel the touch of your hand on your chest. If you wish, you can make small circles in a comforting, gentle way. Feel the natural rising and falling of your chest. Just gently notice the hand on the heart. I now invite you to try giving yourself a gentle hug. I know it might feel weird. If possible, just give yourself a gentle hug and once again, just notice. Notice the pressure Notice if it feels awkward. Notice if it feels comforting or perhaps it doesn't provoke any emotion. Just notice. I invite you now to take a moment to gently just cup your face in your hand or hands. Closing your eyes and just breathing into that sensation. Cupping your face or gently stroking your own cheek with your eyes closed without judgment. Just noticing the sensation. Perhaps moving the hand to the forehead. We often soothe children by placing a hand on the forehead or at the nape of the neck. Just trying those areas out and noticing what that might feel like. Again, noticing if it feels awkward or soothing. Knowing that your body is still responding to these gentle, soothing touches, even if your mind is unsure of what you're doing right now. Perhaps trying another place, perhaps stroking your own arm. We often stroke the arm of people we care about when they're suffering. Try stroking your own arm, just noticing. Or stroking your knee. I invite you now to place a hand on both hands, whatever's comfortable to you, on your belly. Letting warmth and compassion and kindness spread to that part of your body, as we often hold a lot of anxiety and stress in our belly. If it feels right for you, you can also gently rock. We soothe babies by rocking them. I invite you now to just return to whichever body part and spot felt most soothing to you. And spend just a few more moments having your body connect with your hands or arms in a gentle, soothing touch. And as we end this practice, I invite you to just return your attention back to the breath. noticing without judgment. And when you're ready, feel free to open your eyes and return to the room and the space that you're in right now. All right. So that practice was also by the the Center for Mindfulness Studies. And both are very well-known interventions for soothing us when we're feeling distressed, our anxiety, or stress, things that overwhelm us. So I invite you to try practicing these two interventions to see what, if anything, they can do to support you with the difficult things that you're facing in your life. So that concludes my presentation for today. We're just basically right on time, and in the sense that if there's any questions, there's time for some question and answers before we end for today. So feel free to type any questions or comments you might have in the chat box. And I'll just wait and see if anyone, no, it takes a few moments to type something out. So I'll just wait a few moments to see if anything pops up. And in the meantime, I just encourage you to offer yourself compassion, offer yourself care. We are living in difficult times. There's many things going on all over the world and in our own lives. And don't forget that your life is really important, and what you're experiencing is really important to honor, to respond to with compassion, with soothing, with allowance. All right. So I'm not seeing any questions pop through. I'm hoping I had left enough time for that. All right. So I wish you all a peaceful rest of your day, and I will be doing more presentations in the future. So keep your eyes open for those. And oh, I do see a couple questions here now. So are there any quick actions one can take in the moment? So that's a really great question. I would suggest in the moment, the best action that you can take is to just stop, pause, and start focusing on breathing and taking some soothing breaths, perhaps with one of the actions that we just practiced with the hand over the heart or a hug, just to start allowing your body to feel a little bit more centered. That would be my best advice for in the moment. And, you know, honestly, just taking time away. So if you can, stepping away for a moment, that might mean excusing yourself to another room, the bathroom, leaving it if the situation allows that. I know that doesn't always happen, but you're allowed to actually take a step away if the emotion or the stress is too overwhelming of that moment, and then go and breathe and self-soothe. Okay. And somebody else said, thank you, you're very welcome. Any other questions, comments? I'm not seeing anything else pop up. I hope that that answer was helpful as far as what you can do in the moment. All right. Oh, I just saw another thing. Oh, you're welcome. All right. So I wish you all a peaceful day, and keep your eyes open if you found this helpful and you would like to learn more skills. I will be doing another presentation in about a month. So you're welcome to always sign up for that one as well. All right. Take care and have a peaceful day. Bye-bye.